elections for this convention from the Detroit Federation of Teachers. I stand for no more charters, an end to race to the top, Duncan must go, and education, public education as a fundamental right. Urgency of now is the situation in this country. They are destroying public education. None of us can think that we are safe. The entire social contract of the later part of the 20th century, civil rights, the American middle class dream, now is being chopped away at viciously. We see this in Detroit with the attack and destruction of really effectively the UAW. And now public school, public education itself, the dream, is being attacked. Precisely at the time when education becomes a majority-minority situation in this country, public education from the powers that be in this country is no longer considered a fundamental right, but an option, something one has to race or compete to. When we say no to this, we are defending public education, and the AFT must see that as the central mission now to fight back against the Duncan attack, the attack by Gates, by Bill Gates, and by Eli Broad. The fight is going to go on. Teachers and students around this country are going to fight to defend their rights, are going to fight to defend their public schools. Florida, we saw the fight just a few months ago, where the governor had on his desk a bill to eliminate tenure. And that was just a piece of it. Teachers walked out, students walked out, teachers sicked out, and a group of extremely courageous teacher leaders went and sat down and occupied the governor's office, saying, "You're not going to do this to us. We are going to fight by any means necessary to stop the destruction of our schools and our rights." And they were victorious. Woo! In California, we have the days of action, including, most importantly, the walkout and sick-out in Oakland against the attacks on public education. There are mass movements in this country. There is a growing mass movement, and the AFT needs to be as one with that mass movement, to lead that mass movement. It's a scientific fact. People are going to fight to defend their rights, their basic fundamental rights. And our future as a union is to be with them in that fight. We cannot take any illusory middle ground in that fight or attempt to co-opt, in fact, what is in fact the enemy. We have to be at one and lead the fight, the growing mass movement. If elected under our leadership, the AFT would help lead that fight. And what are the other options? We've seen in locals, the members against their own union, local union presidents, saying we're not having this, and removing some of the key AFT local presidents. We even have situations now where the local president and the local executive vice president are in war. That's what the current policies of the AFT have meant in the local situation. It's a no-win situation for local leaderships now. We must go back to the tradition of fighting for the defense of public education. Tell the truth. Tell the truth about the public school. The tried and true and proven methods to reach improvement in education, close test score gaps, achievement gaps, and all the rest. Magnet schools, regional integration programs, just providing the basic books and supplies, lowering class size, those things versus racing to the top or racing to the bottom, test scores, and charters. No, those are at best unproven methods. In fact, they've been proven to fail. We need to fight for what's right and tell the truth to the American public. These programs that we as a union are being told to adopt are programs that that our leadership would oppose had they come from the Republican Party. But they're coming from the Democratic Party now, and so we are told that we must sign on to them. Well, no, this is the death of our union. I really, in seeing the UAW in Detroit, I really wonder about the future of the AFT. 2012 convention in Detroit, but will there be an AFT in a meaningful sense, or just a skeleton of itself, unless we make the change now? It is the fierce urgency of now that we face. Let's lose the fear and embrace the joy and optimism of building and joining and building the new movement, the civil rights movement of the 21st century for equal quality public education for all, and stand up to Duncan. Stand up.
Yes.